change is scary because you have a process established, you know what to do, and change means you have to do something different, and humans don't like that. And that's exactly where I come in, and obviously my colleagues as well. We hold your hand through that change process. We manage to change with you and therefore make sure it's a success, because that's how long we're going to work.
And should I worry that you don't have enough nodes?
You never have to worry about the number of nodes with us. Right? This is really not
That's how it was.
perfect.
How do I know how many nodes do I need?
But how many frames do you want to render?
Oh, so the nodes are based on frames. So each frame is a node? Oh,
Necessarily, you can also render multiple frames per node if you have the time. You could render one frame per node.
okay.
It'd be fast, but it's probably not doesn't make the most sense because you have the scene loading time, right?
Okay.
But that's something we can evaluate depending on what kind of animation you have, also the resolution, the file size. So multiple factors I will look in with you, ideally with a little test, and then we can,
So basically what happens is that I share the file with you, and you give me the best solution for the time I have. Like, let's say that I need to deliver the animation considering the compositing, the editing, the whatever. I need the views render by Wednesday.
Yeah.
And today is Sunday. I don't know. Guessing. You will check the files and will tell me, Matteo, this will need 2 days to render, but we can squeeze it in 1 day if we give more nodes. Is it?
for example, yeah.
Okay.
How much is peace of mind worth to you?
Oh, that's
This is impossible to answer. Like, peace of mind is...
Peace of mind. The wording, I heard it somewhere. I've never experienced peace of mind.
Imagine now, and we do a small forecast, like a contract. For 5 years, I'm taking away your pain. How long do you think you'd live longer? And then we put a price on it.
No one knows, but like that.
actually.
Hey everyone, Anees Alomar here, and today we have a talk with Johanna and Matteo. Johanna has a service for Archviz artists, and I would like to ask her some questions about what she is doing, what the company is doing. And we have Matteo Ferrari. He's one of her future clients, maybe, no one knows, and he had a lot of questions about her service, and he would like to ask her. Johanna, welcome. Matteo, welcome. Johanna, would you mind introducing yourself and what you do in which country and what is the company?
Of course, my name is Johanna, originally from Germany, while I live and work in Switzerland for the last 5 years. Yeah. I recently joined Helio beginning of the year. Helio is a cloud rendering service for especially people working in the office industry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Perfect. Amazing. Thank you. And Matteo, please, would you mind introducing yourself?
Yep. My name is Matteo Ferrari, and I am the founder and creative director of Forma Studio. We are a visualization company for architects, developers, and anyone in between. So yeah, actually, it's funny because we're here because I have a lot of questions for a rendering farm that we're a small company, so sometimes we need to outsource or have more rendering power. And I think this conversation can be quite beneficial for anyone in a similar position or someone probably with a bigger studio that might need, service like this one. One of the things that we quite often face as a visualization studio is to understand if we can get external support, especially when we have animations or bigger projects that we need some sort of a little bit more of power from external studios. And I think Helio in this is probably specialized, and if Johanna can tell us a little bit about this, would be quite handy. And when you come on board, and is there a specific obstacle that you usually face when a visualization studio reach out to you? It would be good to understand.
Yeah, so there's different stages in which we usually come in. I'd say a lot of clients usually come in when they have a problem. Unfortunately, usually quite urgent. That is just part of the industry, I guess. But today, for example, we're here at the event to create brand awareness. Mm-hmm. We want people to know that there is an option, like we are helpers in terms of crisis, but obviously also want to be there as a constant for studios. Mm-hmm. So, to come back to your question, you said you sometimes face capacity issues internally. Can you maybe tell me a little bit more about your local setup?
Yeah, so we are a visualization studio, although like relatively small because we're 3 in the office. So we do have computers that are, let's say, the top tier and top quality in the office and in the industry. But at the same time, when we get maybe animations that are a bit longer that we cannot sort out internally because we need to render a bunch of frames, timeline is very short, and especially when we have a delivery in between. So we have like final delivery that is obviously it should be like super top quality, but when we have delivery in between, that usually when the bottleneck happens in the office. So in that scenario is where I usually oversee like a plan and have some farm or someone helping us, because I know that we're not going to be able to deliver at good quality in between, even though it shouldn't be perfect, but should provide some sort of to the client, let's say.
With in-between delivery, you mean like you have to deliver at every 10th frame, 100th frame of an animation?
Yeah, roughly. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how is this the issue with your local nodes?
It's the speed of them, because if we need to render 3 minutes animations or 5 minutes animations, we need to render, I don't know, like maybe 500 frames overnight, that maybe we can sort them out, but to get a certain quality, sometimes we don't have all of them. And if we don't have all of them and we need to deliver, it's kind of a piling up some sort of stress on ourselves. So it makes things difficult to plan.
Yeah.
With clients.
So you say a big struggle for you is mainly the stress of knowing you're not able to deliver.
Yeah.
But you're like the rendering.
Yes.
Because obviously production side I cannot help you.
Yeah.
It's your job.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, so yeah, then you're basically like probably all of our customers in the setup that already know in advance you have a capacity issue and you know you need to render externally. Now, I won't bore you with the full qualification process. Usually I'd ask what are tools they currently use and which plugins do you need, and I assess whether your setup fits our setup. Because obviously we are a software and we are quite flexible in some ways, but we do support certain tools and certain plugins. If your journey that you usually have in-house fits to our software, then we do a couple of test renders and see, okay, what's your rendering time? And then I can also have an estimate how long it is going to take you, and obviously we'll make you an offer.
Okay. So one of the things that we usually struggle to understand is how much the rendering time will cost, because we don't know how many frames we're going to render, the difficulties of the scene, and how long the scene itself will take to render. So this is something that we never understand on how the pricing structure might work with the company like Helio, for example. If you have a few pointers to be
absolutely. So I'd say Helio is not a normal render farm. We don't own a single node. We are a cloud rendering service. And I want to focus on the service part a little bit, right? Obviously, you can render with us. We redistribute unused render power from big data centers that we have connected in our platform. But our main business is the service part. And we focus on basically taking your pain away. You already mentioned, like, one of your struggles is knowing that you cannot deliver on time to your customer, which means your customer might not be happy, and that stresses you out. So we can give you an almost unlimited amount of nodes to guarantee you can deliver on time. The second thing, and that's honestly, especially the long-term benefits of talking to existing customers, that's what they're most happy about, is we have people that ensure that the renders on your side will be a success with us. Like render wranglers, awesome support guys, super helpful. Helpfulness is our core value at Helio. So yeah, we're obviously assessing with you and make sure that the renders are a success. So you don't have to worry about whether it crashes in the middle of the night and you come to the office in the morning and then nothing worked, right? So this is an outsourced problem. And then talking about pricing, we will most likely fix the pricing before, so you don't have to stress about the render times during the process, but you really already know when you start with us what the costs are going to be.
So is it going to be almost like service based? And instead of on a node base, you might a service and you charge that amount of money? Is it?
There's multiple ways to assess like how we're going to price you. On animation at the moment, a lot of customers want a frame-based pricing.
Okay.
And then we say, okay, we try, like, this is the range. We do a couple of test renders and we know what it's actually going to cost us, and we can give you a price. Yeah.
Okay.
And then those are the, I'd say, three main worries in a in the Archviz business that you send over to us, you know, you're going to have enough power to render. You know, the renders are going to be a success because we make sure, and you know what it's going to cost.
Okay. So out of these 3 pointers, what makes Helio different than others?
I'd say we're a people business, old school people business. Never have to talk to a chatbot loop or don't get a reply from service. If you are a bigger studio, you for sure will have an account manager to manage the business side, but obviously full access to our support guys. We don't queue customers because we have so many nodes that we don't have to. Like if we notice there is a capacity issue, we just access a different data center. I'd say that's the biggest difference.
Okay.
That's good, great. I mean, if someone is watching us, and they understood that we are not a render farm. It means they don't upload the file online and they will get the render. They need to talk to someone.
Not necessary. Our solution should be self-explanatory, but change scares people. In any business I've ever worked in, change is scary because you have a process established, you know what to do, and change means you have to do something different, and humans don't like that. And that's exactly where I come in, and obviously my colleagues as well. We hold your hand through that change process. We manage to change with you, and therefore make sure it's a success because that's how long we're going to work.
Great, amazing. So let's say someone has watched this and they want to work with you. As I understood from what you said, is like it's better if you have this initial talk before there is a problem. Okay, so you assess if they have the same tools that you are having, or you can collaborate. So at least you can skew that account in case they come in the future. You exactly know the plugins, the software they are using, and you know a little bit about the studio. This is one. Two, let's say those people are looking to get this initial contact from you.
Yes.
Okay. What is the next step? What is the first step they should do?
The people that look that video later, I'm happy to offer you a link they can click on. They get a voucher. They can trial it. And the moment they sign up with us, it's also the moment when I get access to their contact details and will reach out to them.
Okay.
And
so you will reach out to them.
Me or my colleague. Obviously, I can do it all myself, but yes.
They reach out to someone to talk to, or
Of course, they can do that as well. We have you can go through the website or even message us on LinkedIn. At any way, finally, you manage to talk to someone. If you, and a lot of people like to test before they talk to a person, which I understand because also talking to people is a stressful factor nowadays. Like we are WhatsAppers, and like nobody wants to pick up the phone anymore. It is just a thing. So then more than happy to do so. Sign up with Helio, download the render client, do a test. And then if you have questions, you can always talk to our technical team. But if you have commercial questions, we will be by your side as well.
Great. So the question now is like, let's say you provide the link and they get the voucher, they let's say discount or some initial credits they can use.
Yeah.
So it means the ideal scenario is those people, they get this link. They use those free credits to test how the service is, so that when they have a problem, it's already solved. Or at least they have.
You managed to do this. You're my dream customer.
No. I mean, that's the goal of all of what you are doing is not to wait until the last moment.
I know.
I mean, even if you can do it on your own, in the starting of the project, everyone is looking. Oh, I can do. In the last moment, I got another thing. I cannot say no to a new project or a new modification in a previous project. I cannot say no. I have now less capacity in my team. I have less time to think about the rendering. I have less tools on my PCs. So in this case, it's going to be the worst case if they don't know someone like you or they can rely on, right?
Yeah.
So the ideal scenario for someone is watching. I know I am until it's blog that you will recognize my face. Get the link, sign up, use the free credits, test those guys. I'm not selling for them. I'm not even affiliated with them. I'm just saying that get used to the idea of preparing ahead instead of waiting the last minute.
I mean, you will be doing yourself a favor when you know which path to take when you're in crisis, right?
Yeah.
And this is partly what we do, why we join these events. We want you to know we exist. It's not that we know everyone will sign up for Helio tomorrow because they already have a problem. Problems will show themselves over the course of the year or next year or 5 years, but we are here obviously to stay here.
Okay. We were talking about Helio, and you said we are more a rendering service more than a render farm. What do you mean by that? And you said also like you have two paths for the service. Okay. Would you mind explaining more in details for the viewers? What do you mean by the two paths?
Yeah, happy to. I meant Helio has two parts to it, two benefits.
Yeah.
One is obviously that we can render large animations for you because we have more access than any render farm because we access unused capacity of data centers. And that is a lot because honestly, data centers often have like capacity of 80% because they are built for their customers for max capacity. But on average, they don't need that much space. So that's where we tap in and offer that, redistribute that for our customers. So that's great. Speed, obviously, accessibility. But my personally favorite part of Helio is that we are trying to take away all of the painful parts of rendering for our clients and free the client, who are usually very creative people, like awesome creativity. Yeah, they just don't want to deal with managing their internal nodes. The licensing will be on our side. You don't have to like license all your nodes anymore, the updates for the plugins and so on. And it is a lot, but we do it. And that frees, like, honestly, I have customers coming back after 6 months and telling me they underestimated how much more brain space they have because they switched to us.
You don't only do the rendering, you manage the rendering.
Exactly, yeah. Okay. We will make sure that the render is a success with you. We love a little bit of a heads up these days. We're obviously a growing business as well. If somebody tells us, hey, next week, on those days, I need 150 nodes, then I can block that for you and I let engineering know and we,
but this is ideal. To our question, how do I know how many nodes I need?
And should I worry that you don't have enough nodes?
You never have to worry about the number of nodes with us. Right? This is really not.
That's how it was.
Yeah, perfect.
How do I know how many nodes do I need?
But how many frames do you want to render?
So the nodes are based on frames. So each frame is a node?
No, not necessarily. You can also render multiple frames per node if you have the time. You could render one frame per node. It would be fast, but it's probably not the most... Doesn't make the most sense because you have the scene loading time, right?
Okay.
But that's something we can evaluate depending on what kind of animation you have, also the resolution, the file size. It's multiple factors I will look in with you, ideally with a little test, and then we can,
So basically what happens is that I share the file with you, and you give me the best solution for the time I have. Like, let's say that I need to deliver the animation considering the compositing, the editing, the whatever. I need the views render by Wednesday.
Yeah.
And today is Sunday. I don't know. Guessing. You will check the files and will tell me, Matteo, this will need 2 days to render, but we can squeeze it in 1 day if we give more nodes to render, for example. Is it?
For example, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so and in this way, you will provide me with the cost as well, depending on the speed and the nodes. Okay, that makes sense.
Perfect.
That makes sense.
Now, there is one question I always try to distill the benefits of any company or the uniqueness of any company to 3 things. Would you try to summarize 3 things that are really great about Helio?
Okay. Personally, I really like the product with the idea of redistributing unused render space instead of everyone buying their own nodes. The machines exist, right? Why not tap into them if they're already there? So that's the first core idea of Helio makes total sense to me.
Okay.
The second part I really like is the way we're growing. We are the way we raise attention for the service we have, and that's a long story in itself. Third part would be that we are a people business, and at the moment we fully focus on the pain, right? Rendering is one thing. Obviously, this is the product.
Okay.
But like, you will always be able to talk to actual humans. And
Perfect. So, sorry to interrupt for this.
no problem.
So, with my work with my clients and even for my business, I always try to distill the uniqueness about in three things: social, emotional, and functional. For example, if I am a studio artist, I'm going to hire our like music service.
Yeah,
The emotional part, I have a peace of mind,
that's true.
right?
Then it's so
Social.
again.
I know I'm not going to be let down because it's going to be finished. So my face against my clients and even my colleagues is in the safe side. Functional, I'm going to get the render done on time.
Yeah.
Right? So that's how I see it. I mean,
Perfect. Yeah, I agree. Social, I would probably also mention the accessibility, right?
Yeah.
If you have a good internet connection,
absolutely.
you can work from anywhere. And in modern times, that's great. A lot of our customers have a lot of people working from home office. I'd say this is an excellent time for us to come in. I have some customers that want to downscale their office, which would mean they'd have to move their internal render farm. And we all know how incredibly expensive that is. And that makes it very easy for us.
That's also good for people who are doing remote work.
Exactly.
Yeah, great.
So on the social aspect, we want to enable you to live the life you want to live as an artist.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
That's
Nice.
I mean, very few people are looking to help you in this way. Live the life you want to live.
Honestly,
than me.
our focus is to have happy customers.
Yeah.
And happiness comes from freedom and peace of mind.
Absolutely.
And this is the two things that are
Great.
great side effects of our business.
Absolutely amazing. You joined Helio 1 year ago?
Not even, no. I'm a newbie, beginning of the year.
Okay, beginning of the year. Okay. And you have already seen some of the aspects of the business.
Yes.
Working with Helio.
Yes.
You said that they are great employers.
Yes.
Yeah. Would you please explain what you
Yeah.
mean by that?
Yeah, I have been doing software sales for 7 years, and this is by far, sorry to say, my favorite employer. It's a great culture to work for.
Yeah.
It has a lot to do with, my core business is talking to people, right? I'm an account executive, and the people I talk to are 3D artists. And
Like
they're
Matteo,
just-
for example.
Exactly.
I mean, did you secure them? Did you secure that Matteo worked? What
Yes,
you?
I did.
Yeah. Okay.
You mentioned it at the beginning of the
Matteo, that's right.
Let's see what happens after this conversation, and I'm open to offers.
How much is peace of mind worth to you?
That's the big of the goals.
This is impossible to answer. Like, peace of mind is... That's...
Peace of mind. The wording, I heard it somewhere. Peace of mind. I have never experienced peace of mind. Everything.
Imagine now, and we do a small forecast, Pike contract. For 5 years, I'm taking away your pay. How long do you think you'd live longer? And then we put a price on that.
No one knows. It's like,
Big joke, actually. Maybe I'll die just like right here. So I don't know.
I mean, if the heat is going to happen, I mean, it's going to continue like this. I don't know how long he will survive with the heat.
Oh,
Oh, will you?
melted. I mean, my brain is absolutely fried. I'm sitting in a wet pool. It is hot.
Yeah, it is.
Now, anyway, back to Helio. We're a great employer. We're growing, so we're obviously looking for more people on multiple ends, but focusing on taking people's pain away makes, by default, very happy customers. And in a way, I sell happiness, and that's a great business.
Yeah, the thing, I mean, I do understand exactly what they mean by selling happiness. I think anyone who is watching this completely from the start to the end, they know what Johanna means by happiness. Johanna, thank you very much for this explanation. It was really great for me to know more about Helio. I mean, I got in touch with you a little bit, what the company is doing. Now I have a better idea,
Good.
more clear idea, especially that you have one of your ideal customers here, and he mentioned that he's small, but he's growing. I don't know if you know that. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, whether Matthew work with you or works with you or not, I don't know, but like, as he said, it depends on the offer. So Johanna is going to provide you with the link.
Yeah.
I will put in the description of this video. Use it, test the service, and let me know, and let Johanna know, what do you think? Because they are doing the things for you. The peace of mind, the happiness, all of those things are important in the business side. That's why we are having this in my channel, the Business of Artists. Johanna, thank you very much. It is a great pleasure to have this conversation with you and Matteo. Matteo, thank you very much for the insightful questions.
Pleasure. Pleasure, as always.
Amazing. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next episode. Goodbye.
So, Matteo, you have an animation coming up?
I do, actually.
He does.
I actually do. Don't look at me like that.
Yeah, that's why he is here. Yeah, he's
He's trying to sell me. He's trying to sell me.
yeah.